We have our bonuses. We have 3 questions, and they're all worth 2 points each. Let's start with this one first, because we know that we have 6 whole, which can be 6 pizzas. You break those up into fourths, each pizza, and they want to know what would be the division of that. So if you have 6 and you break them up into fourths, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, which is 24. So you have 24 1/4 pieces in that group. For this one, you have 4 and 7/8 and 1 and 1/3. We know that we have to have common denominators before we add and subtract in both of these problems. So we know that we can just simply multiply 8 times 3, which is 24. So that's going to be our common denominator for both. So now we need to get there. So what number multiplied by 3 will give you 24, which is 8? What you do on the bottom, you do on the top. So 8 times 1 is 8. So that gives us our equivalent fraction to 1/3. 1/3 and 8/24 are equivalent to each other. Same thing here. 8. What will give me 24 by multiplying with 8? And that is 3. So therefore, 3 times 8 is 24. So what you do on the bottom, you do on the top. 7 times 3 is 21. So now we're able to add, and we know that that's 4. 21 and 28 is 29. And we know that that is an improper fraction. Therefore, how many 24s go into 29? And that would be 1 more. So now you have a 5. The remainder between those two would be 5. And we know that that is already simplified. So your answer there is 5 and 5/24. This one, same thing. We look at the denominators and we ask ourselves, can we find a common denominator between those two numbers? In this case, we could go ahead and go with 35. So we're going to do 35 as our common denominator, and we're going to try to find equivalent fractions for both. So now we have asked the same question. 7 times what gives me 35? We know that it's 5. So therefore, what you do on the bottom, you do on the top. 5 times 2 is 10. Same thing here. We have a 5. We know that 5 times 7 is 35. So what we do on the bottom, we do on the top. 7 times 4 is 28. So now we're able to do our subtraction. 28 minus 10 is 18 over 35. And then 3 minus 1 is 2. So now we need to figure out, can these reduce at all? We know that 6 goes into this, 3 goes into this, so there's really no shortcut here. 6 does not go into 35. 7 times, we know that 7 times 6 is 42. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 7 is 35. Or, no, excuse me, 7 times 5 is 35. But the 3 doesn't go into, so your answer is 2 and 18, 20, or excuse me, 35. 35ths.